ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Hello, Sharon Needles.
Could you imagine if there was more than one me? The world would implode. The one and only. That's not an accomplishment. That's like that's probably what the world's been begging for. They probably don't even want this one.
No, well, we are excited to talk to you here, and we're honored to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. And for your viewers, you're probably seeing me live. You're probably seeing a ridiculously over-touched and over-airbrushed photograph of me. But I have this disturbingly good talent at drag and a bizarrely no connection with technology.
I understand. Do not even worry. And is there any other way to be photographed than airbrushed and tucked and put together?
Really kind, self-deprecating joke. If you've seen the album art for my new record, Absolute Zero, I wanted the fans to see the real me. There's no Photoshop or retouching on those. In fact, I had the photographer make me look worse so fans could feel connected to me and not be, turned off by my ridiculous leading man Hollywood looks.
Well, I think we're looking at the album cover right now. The album is out now. It's called Absolute Zero. Congratulations. It is a top 5 dance record charted album, and it is a really good time. Can you tell us a little bit about what the intention and why you brought disco back?
A 40-year-old washed up A-list reality television star from a decade ago is charting right now. So that can only mean one thing. This is a fucking good record. And as an artist that works in the genre of ego, I knew it was good because I made it, but you don't know how people are going to respond. And for me to kind of bring back a throwback genre of music that is not only 40 years old, but also has a history with being told that it's dead or that it sucks. I'm just so thrilled that fans of all walks of life and ages are enjoying a disco sound, because after, coronavirus and personal issues and the world falling apart, I've sunk myself into the genre of disco, and I'm glad other people are enjoying it too.
Well, Sharon, when I listen to it, and I listened to it this morning, I used to listen to it at the gym yesterday. It makes me smile. It's music that is fun. It's uplifting. And the single, the single, Flamin' Hot, and the video and the hook of that song has been stuck in my head since the album came out. Can you tell us?
I make audio crack. I've done it with several different records, and if you've heard my records, you know that I don't make drag music. I'm just a drag queen who happens to make music, and I'm inspired by all genres of music, from rock and roll to folk to metal to disco. But it was fun not to write so heavy and so dense. I applaud myself sometimes by how I can go through the Rolodex of pop culture and vernacular weirdness. But I'll tell you, writing a song like Flaming Hot that is so nil and stupid was really hard.
Well, you definitely made it look easy, and you sound beautiful. Your voice
sounds crazy. My top liner, Ashley Levy, who I've worked with on every record I've produced, says I'm the only person she's ever worked with that cigarettes have made sound better. So I thought about quitting smoking for my fans. They need me here for a long time, but unfortunately, I'm forced to be a slave to my art. So
That's it.
2 packs a day.
The things we do for love. I hear that for sure. Well, if you're wondering, a lot of drag queens that in this medium and in this art form, they're famous for lip syncing. There's no lip syncing on this. This is all you. And when people come to see you at a club appearance or a show, they're going to get to hear a little bit of this album. Can you tell us a little bit about the process? We lived in these crazy 2 years. It was COVID. It was quarantine. It was all this going on. How did you approach this album? What was it like to record? Did you do it in person? Did you write it all during COVID? What happened?
This has been about 2.5 years of writing, and I'm glad that you brought it up because I did want to use RuPaul's Drag Race as a vehicle for me to explore and to express myself as a musician, and a lot of Drag Race girls have wanted to go in the direction of becoming pop stars or musicians in their own right, which I don't know why. There's no fucking money in it. I've never seen a goddamn dime from a fucking record. It's the dumbest. If you just made a record to be a pop star, then I really hope that ego boost pays your fucking bills, because there ain't no money in this shit. But being someone who loves so many genres of music, I was in a place where I went through a breakup of my fiance for 7 years. My mom got cancer. My best friend died. It was Black Lives Matter. It was coronavirus. There are things that I will talk about, not talk about, and things I legally cannot talk about. But the one thing that I could rely on was pulling out my old records and just listening to that 172 BPM of disco that is so universally effervescent.
It's joy. That's what I listen to it, and it makes me. It's reminiscent of a time where there was a lot of love, and the music's just fun. It's just gonna get you lost.
Yeah, it was like. Could you imagine being gay, doing cocaine, and AIDS not existing? But and also, I come from the 80s where I was basically groomed into knowing that disco was dead and disco sucked. And when you really study that, you realize what it was a whole bunch of white rock and rollers who I also appreciate and love as well.
Sure.
Not getting radio time. So they hired, producers would hire baseball fields and actually have people burn disco records and to take away the true genius of the Moog and synthesizers and the production of what disco is. But what it really did, it was an affront on not just queer artists on the radio, but black artists on the radio. And I love the merging of minorities, and disco did that so well. So it was fun to do.
Well,
it was fun to do, and I'm really good at being, a little bit Marilyn Monroe and a little bit Marilyn Manson. But I was just like, I don't even want to hear my own dark brain right now.
I understand. I understand, and that's what makes this like fun. I mean, I've listened to your other music. Your last album was all of the covers that were of the horror with your own, your own twist on them, and all your first album. This is fun. This is it's another color to your voice and to your personality and to your character.
Right. Well, PG-13 was a soundtrack to a toddler thrown into fame. Taxidermy was an album about love. Battle Axe was about angst and violence. And this album is about getting fucked. And there is something about sex and drag that are connected that I always stepped away from. But after 5 years with Alaska and 7 years with my fiance, and after that pandemic, I stopped being so embarrassed and prudish about my sexuality because my minority happens to be sexual, and I just started fucking. So most of these songs are just about grinder hookups. I never liked your clothes, but they look good on the floor. You make me moan and groan, knock on my back door.
Well, listen, there's a time and place for everything, and that's definitely something that needs to be on people's radio and in their mind, and give people some relax and for lack of a better word, release. I would be remiss to say that what you were talking about a little bit earlier about the oppression of Black and queer music through the 70s and the disco movement. We live in a time, and if you don't mind me asking, we live in a crazy time where there's an attack on drag, there's a track on queer rights, there's a track on trans rights. How important is it more than ever for you to be as true, authentic artists and put out music and speak your mind? What I know, you growing up in Iowa, you've been very vocal about what it was like growing up and the things you faced, and now people still face that just the same today. What can you say to give us some hope as a community in these crazy times?
Well, I'm a hard person to ask because I've always been attracted to exactly what I'm not supposed to do. I intentionally self-sabotage. If anything, if I find people are doing certain things for clout, I will do intentionally the exact opposite and hope that it is read as a social commentary and art. So I'm not a good one to ask about this. Just Google me, honey. You're going to find it. But I try to just lead by example and how I treat people that are around me. And I don't want to be a role model. I want to be a supermodel. But when I grew up, I idolized the stars that my parents told me to stay away from, and it made it even more enticing. And that's what I want to do. But if you need any further examples on how to be a decent woke person in 2022, I suggest you call Monet Exchange. I'm not good at this. I fuck with people's heads on purpose because it's almost my survival instinct to audition people about what they can handle.
I get it's performance art. You're a performance artist. You're an artist, and I admire your commitment and your creativity to the art form. It adds something.
It's true. I say I'm a Satanist. I don't worship Satan. I say I'm a woman. I'm not a woman. Everything I do, up is down, black is white. It's fun, but also every day is a learning curve. I don't want to piss anyone off.
No,
it's not fun to hurt someone. So every day is a learning curve. But if you're looking for a moral compass, I am not the one to say Sharon Needles. That's how straight people get AIDS.
Well, you are someone who we could all admire for your talent, your creativity, your tenacity, and everybody should be listening to your brand new album. It is called Absolute Zero. It's everywhere music is heard. You can stream it now, and everyone, we can follow you, right? We could stay up in touch with you on Instagram and on all the social medias. You could go to SharonNeedle.com and you can keep up to date on what's going on. The music video and the singers and the other actors in it. What a beautiful job. What a wonderful music video. It's really a good time. Make sure you go to YouTube and stream that and check that out as well.
Well, thanks.
No, it's all true. It's true. It's not easy to make art. It's not easy to make art in these times. And that's some great production right there.
Well, if in my obituary, if my accomplishments outshine my transgressions, I will be pleased to know that I devoted my music career to teaching children of a new generation on a queer culture that is sadly being lost.
Yeah. And that's
to Amanda Lear.
Yes, to that. Well, that is something for sure to be proud of. And I'm grateful to have listened to it for sure. And thank you for sharing your time and your energy and your spirit with us. We'll be listening.
Thank you so much. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. That's my birthday, Sharon. I'm a little Scorpio Halloween baby.
Gosh, that's disturbing. Well, happy birthday, happy Halloween, and to your listeners, hail Satan.
Thank you, Sharon. Thanks for being here.
Disco never dies.
Never, ever.